Joe King Prawn, what are your expectations with him for his first run this season?
Well, always good. He's being very consistent kind of a horse. He has matched against some of these horses in the past and being very competitive. So I'm not expecting anything different than him going there and being very, very competitive.
You've ridden him in one of his two trials that he's had leading in, and what sort of feel did he give you that morning?
He's picking up. He's not quite there yet in regards to fitness. Since I've been on him, he had another trial which may have helped him. And at this stage, as we're talking about a horse that hasn't had a race yet, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not 100% fit. So I know it's just the case. A high-rated horse, not many options of races to run at, but he's a good horse. We all know that if he's able to bring what he's got best, he's going to be very hard to beat.
He's gone close in big Group 1 races in the past without winning one, Joe. The sprinting ranks, though, this season have changed. Could this be the season that King Prawn wins a Group 1?
It could be, in particular, as the main horse that we would mention about are not running against him in the next couple of races. So he's going to have his opportunity now. And I always thought he's a kind of a horse that is capable to win at least one Group 1. He's been a bit unlucky as he had some issues. He's been out of racing for quite some time. And John has done a very good job to get him back to his best once again. And I myself, I couldn't be more happier to be sitting on him on the weekend.
And one of the dangers in the race is Computer Patch, who you won on last time out. What sort of feeling did he give you that day?
He should be the favourite because he has the fitness. He has had a few runs on the season. But just don't forget, my horse is a kind of proven kind of a horse, has run against the best horses in Hong Kong. And I believe my horse deserves respect as well.
Was it your call to stick with King Prawn?
I was already booked to ride King Prawn, so that's why I didn't go with a Computer Patch, knowing that he's the favourite. But at the end of the day, it might be the right choice anyway.
Zach, Beauty Generation, what did you make of his return to the races last time?
Yeah, I thought it was a good effort. He's had such a long time off that he was a little bit rusty, and it took him a little bit of time early on in the race to get into his rhythm. And it's not his normal racing pattern, but I thought he handled it really well, and it was a bit of a stop-start-run race. Those horses made that early move and got first run on him, but once he was able to sort of get himself into the clear, I thought he ran a good race.
When you say it's not his usual racing pattern, he's famous for being out in front dictating. Is that the way you rode him last time out, more of how things are going to be now that he's getting older, or was that just circumstance?
It was just circumstance. He was just a little bit sluggish in his work, in his trial and in that race, but he's getting a little bit sharper as time goes on. And he's an older horse now, so it's going to take that little bit of extra time for him to switch back on, but he's getting there, and I think we'll see a little bit of a better horse or a different horse again this weekend, and I think he'll continue to improve after this.
So you take on Golden 60 again, you meet him better off at the weights, you step up to a mile. Can you beat him?
Oh, there's no doubt it's going to be a much more even contest. It's going to be closer. He still has the advantage at the weights, like you said, but I think it'll be an interesting race this time.
And with him as well too, this time last year, this is the race that his unbeaten streak came to an end in, and one of the talking points afterwards was how tough the first up run had been. How much has that first up run taken out of him this time around, do you feel, after riding him in his work yesterday?
Oh, I think he's taken benefit out of the first up run. He still feels nice and fresh, and if anything, I think he's sort of going in the right direction instead of being just that little bit flat from a big first up run.
Karis Willpower, was good to see him return with a win last time out.
Yeah, he won a nice race last time. Of course, it was a drop in class, so it was easier for him. But he still had to carry the big weight, but won pretty impressively.
He's been to the trial since then. Are you happy with the way that he's come out of that race?
Yeah, he's in good shape in the morning. His trial was pretty good. I must say he's a stronger horse than last season. So I think this time, of course, he's stepping up in class. It's going to be a bit harder for him, but he's going very well at the moment.
So as you say, last season he wasn't able to win when he did step up to Class 2, but do you think now with a bit more maturity and, as you say, a bit more strength, he's capable of winning at this level?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, he definitely feels like he's much more stronger horse physically, mentally this season. So, like I said, going to the Class 2, of course, it's hard, but the way he's going, it just gave me a bit of confidence.
And he's drawn barrier number 12. Does that concern you, or is he a get-back, run-on type anyway?
Of course, it is a tricky gate, but going through a race, I think there could be a bit of speed in the race, so that will give me a chance not to get in that battle, to leave him alone, and let's hope he gets the right run and finished off nicely.
Joe, scores of fun. In that run last time out on the home straight, were you worried that you weren't going to get into the clear?
I was very worried, but there was nothing I could do about it. We had an inside gate. I couldn't come out early enough. But you know, good horses, sometimes they have to make it tough, and that was a very good example. And that kind of proves that he's a good horse. He's up in class now. He's going to find competition a little bit stronger, but I think he's got it. I think he's got ability. I think he's got plenty of rating to rise in himself as time goes by.
You take on Winning Dreamer, who's also undefeated in the race. What are your thoughts on him as a horse?
Winning Dream should be the favourite. He deserves to be. He's been unbeaten pretty much, and but of course my horse, if there is one in the race that could give him a good run, my horse would be the one.
2 from 2 over sprint trips. Is he a sprinter, or could he stretch out over further scores of fun?
As time goes by, I think John is going to step him up in distance to give him a chance. He deserves that. But for the time being, I think we would be all happy to have him just running in short distance races.
And just a final one for you. What about the gate? You're drawn an outside gate with him here?
No, not an ideal gate, but sometimes it plays in our favour. Depends on how fast they go and if we're lucky enough to slot in. So certainly the gate is not helping as much, but we're going to deal with it the best we can.
President Troy Zach, what did you think of him last time out?
I thought it was a good effort. He's a horse that just seems to tread water between the 600 and the 250. He just can't get his rhythm and get his momentum going. You know, the 1200 metres might just be that little bit sharp for him at that point of a race. So getting up to the 1400, hopefully he can come into it with a little bit more confidence, and you know, it's probably a good time to try him over a little bit further.
Better off at the draw this time as well too?
Yeah, that also helps, and you know, it just allows him to get there cheaply and give him his chance.
Work-wise, how's he been since his first up run?
He's good. He's always a good worker, and he's doing nothing different.